So recently there's been a little bit of a debate in the community talking about the state of 4-stars in Wuthering Waves. Now if you don't know, so far in the release of Rinascita and version 2.0, we haven't seen any new 4-stars, which obviously hasn't concerned a lot of players due to the amount of 5-stars that we have been getting. But obviously this has started up a little bit of a talk of people wondering what 4-stars we're going to get in version 2.0, and also what the state of them is at the moment, whether they're good or not, and whether Kuro Games needs to step up their game in terms of 4-stars, or if they're actually doing a little bit of experimenting and it's okay. And it seems like the community is very split on this. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy it, and also go to Game Subs, use my code KAZA where you get yourself 10% off entire cups and tubs. Definitely recommend going over there. Again, they got a ton of really cool flavors out at the moment, so go over there, take a look, and use my code KAZA for 10% off. But let's get back into the video. So this was a post that I saw on r/Wuthering Waves, which says why Kuro rarely releases 4-star characters in major updates. Now they pretty much put out this whole post explaining why 4-stars, release in major updates, and well, it's got two upvotes. It's got two upvotes. Okay, not very many people liked it. There's 28 comments, and we'll definitely go into them. They say, hello everyone, I've been seeing a lot of posts from people concerned about the lack of 4-stars in the game. I'd like to share my perspective on why Kuro doesn't release 4-stars frequently and why we barely see them in major updates. Okay, so then we go in. They say Kuro's attention to character design. Kuro is known for its high quality gameplay, and it shows in their character designs. Whether it's 4-stars or a 5-star character, you'll notice unique animations, designs, attack patterns, and more. They treat 4-stars with the same level of detail as 4-stars, which I do agree with. They do put a lot more kind of detail in 4-stars than a lot of other gacha games do. Now, would I say it's the same level detail as 5-stars? Not all the time. I feel like there are some 4-stars out there which, have a lot less detail, especially some of the earlier ones, but more in the frequent ones that have been releasing, recently. I definitely think they have been putting in a lot of effort and detail in these characters, which is great to see. And they say achieving this level of quality takes a lot of time and effort, and if they try to release both 4-stars and 2 5-stars every patch, it'd be unrealistic. As an engineer myself, I understand the challenges of deadlines and quality assurance. It is very difficult to impossible to meet those goals if Kuro maintain their high quality designs. Now, I don't think that's entirely true. Obviously, Kuro Games have been doing very well at the moment, and a lot of these kind of things where people are like, oh, they're under a lot of stress, a lot of this can be just solved by hiring more staff. It's really that easy. So I do feel like, maybe that could be a kind of a thing they could do. And hopefully, we do see them step up in their 4-star releases, because again, we haven't seen very many. But to be fair, it hasn't actually been the end of the world, so it's not too bad at the moment. But yeah, maybe it's unrealistic for the current Wuthering Waves team, but I don't think it's unrealistic for maybe a future team that could actually be dedicated to work on 4-stars, I'm sure they do kind of partition a lot of their staff up, and the same goes for a lot of other gacha games. You got like the 5-star designing kind of department, and then you've also got the 4-star, and then you can kind of split up the different tasks between them instead of getting all the designers to work on the same thing. I honestly think, it just needs a little bit better management, and they could probably do it. Now, obviously they say for those comparing Wuwa to other gacha games that release 4-stars and 5-stars in every patch, try putting them side by side. The difference in quality is huge. Kuro doesn't reuse or copy and paste character animations, even when they do reuse elements. They improve and innovate upon them. Now that is true, obviously, a lot of the highly designed characters do come out less often. If we just take a look at like Star and stuff, obviously they do have a lot of really well designed 4-stars, and well, that's why they don't release a 4-star literally every single update either. It's because they're working on the design, and I do feel like that is a very valid point there. Obviously, yeah, they do like to be very unique with it, and they just don't like releasing just a plain old like cookie cutter model for the 4-stars. So that's pretty true. I feel like that's pretty true. They say balancing time and resources. They say Kuro has a significant budget, but what makes them stand out is how wisely they use it. Look at the jump from 1.0 to 2.0. The experience has drastically improved. The character designs, character VA, storytelling, animations, and now overall quality feels like a AAA game, which again, totally true. Rinascita has been an absolutely amazing region, so that's great to see. And they say to maintain this level of quality and still release major updates every 6 months, Kuro has allocated their time and resources carefully. This means that some patches will only feature 1 5-star and 1 4-star character because they're focusing on other aspects of the game. We might not see it now, but I guarantee you in the next couple of patches, we'll start seeing 1 5-star only, which I do think is true. I do think we are going to start to see 1 5-star only, as much as I don't want to see it happen. Obviously, it would be really nice for the kind of momentum of the game if they were to release a 5-star every single patch, because again, it's just so much more exciting. And obviously we felt the kind of effects of the last couple of updates in version 1.0, which felt a little bit slow just due to the fact that there wasn't, very many 5-stars coming out. But again, it probably will be the same, but it doesn't mean that it should be, you know. I feel like Wuthering Waves could work on maybe some more 5 stars to come out in the future, and again, it's just more about balancing their resource and time, as they say. Then they go on to say it's a trade-off to ensure that they meet their high standards. Personally, I don't mind. Less frequent releases means I get to save resources. We've already seen this pattern in the 1.x update, and it worked well for the game's growth. That is a kind of stinky take, I'm going to be honest. I don't think it actually worked well for the game's growth. I think it actually affected the game's growth. A lot of people left during the whole like drop off of 1.x, and yeah, everyone came back for Rinascita because there's a lot of 5 stars, there's a lot of stuff to do, there's a lot of new characters, all this stuff, whereas people started like falling off and, you know, kind of quitting Wuthering Waves near the end of 1.0 because there was that lack of characters, there was that lack of kind of content for them to actually do, and it was kind of boring for a lot of people. Now, they did hold on to a lot of players very well, I do agree with that, but I feel like to say that it worked well for the game's growth is just disingenuous. That is not true at all. It definitely did not help them in their growth at all. And then they say, to wrap up this discussion, personally, I still like having 4-star characters, but at the same time, I understand Kuro's approach. They've already given us amazing high-quality characters like the Thick Hamster I absolutely love playing. Jesus Christ. Because of that, I expect nothing less of the same quality or even better for future releases. So honestly, I don't mind if we rarely get 4 stars, as long as Kuro continues to deliver characters and gameplay of this level of detail. Now, obviously, I feel like that's a pretty good discussion. Obviously, as I pointed out some of the takes I didn't agree with that, but I think there is a big factor of like Kuro Games actually do pay a lot of attention to their 4 stars, and that's why it takes longer for them to kind of bring them out. But obviously, you know, some people were quick to kind of comment down here saying that like 4 stars is where Kuro likes to, you know, test the waters and stuff. It likes to test different kind of mechanics. And I've seen this common trend in the comments of people saying like a lot of these 4 stars are a lot like kind of puzzle characters, you know? You kind of have to figure them out a lot more than maybe the 5 stars. Obviously, the 5 stars, you just do like a rotation and then you do some damage or you do whatever the character is meant to do. And it's usually pretty easy. Whereas with the 4 stars, they've actually made them harder and a little bit more complicated to understand, which, you know, some people like, some people dislike. I feel like it's okay. And it's where they kind of test the waters with a lot of new abilities that they could add to some of their 5-star characters. So again, I do think that is a massive benefit. And if it means that they have to release characters less, you know, I think that's totally fine in terms of 4-star characters I'm talking about. They say Youhu with the quick time event, Lumi with the swappable melee and ranged form, all that good shit to see if players can conform to the system or not. I agree there are some that aren't perfect, but you need to crack some eggs to make an omelette, which again is absolutely true. They say the best thing we could do is give Kuro feedback on how they can improve their character kit and design, and they say please actually, you know, fill out these forms seriously because Kuro needs honest feedback for it to improve. Don't send immature feedback just to have a kind of laugh. Now they say it's kind of annoying that they design 4 stars with intentional clunk you have to figure out to play around. Again, this person obviously isn't liking the kind of experimental side of 4 stars. Honestly, I think it's okay as long as they don't do it for every single 4 star. I feel like there should be some 4 stars out there which are kind of like helpful more than just like experimental. I think if they get a good mix going of some 4 stars that have some experimental kit design, we also have some 4 stars that come out that just kind of help you with the gameplay. I think honestly Kuro Games could get away with that totally, and I think that, you know, it's in a pretty good condition at the moment. They say, oh, I think 4-star characters are in a good condition. I think more endgame is needed in the 4-star characters. You can currently use about 80% of them. Yeah, I totally expect a new 4-star to appear at the latter half of 2.x. Obviously, I think we all kind of, you know, see that coming. Overall, I feel like this post was actually well accepted in the community despite how many little upvotes it actually had. And I thought it was just an interesting kind of thing to talk about, whether the 4-star system is good or not at the moment. I do honestly think it is good. I think the only way that Wuthering Waves can really improve it is just by adding more 5 stars. Obviously, with the releases of Youhu and Lumi, they came with no new 5 stars. They just came with rerun 5 stars, which I just don't think was great at all. I felt like, you know, it's a little bit boring. If they actually added a new limited 5-star alongside this 4-star, I feel like it could bring the hype of that character up even more, especially even if they synergize with this character or whatever, because I feel like it just, I don't know, it just feels better. It feels more hype. It feels just better overall, and hopefully they can do stuff like that in the future. But hey, we'll have to wait and see what Kuro Games do. Honestly, really, really good post. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think that 4 stars, you know, are in a good state at the moment, or if you think they're in a bad state. My opinion is they're in a good state. I think, honestly, they're doing pretty fine. And hopefully, you know, we can see some more 4 stars come out during the rest of version 2.0. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also go to Game Subs, as I said, use my code KAZA, get 10% off. And I will see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.